What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and of course we are gearing up for a potential very big week as a lot of Nintendo leakers are coming out saying that this upcoming week could have a Nintendo Direct. Now, we've already covered that information and talked about how it is talked about to be this Wednesday, which is very exciting, and they don't know if it's going to be a general or a mini, but nevertheless there's lots of cool information to be revealed here. Now, personally, I think it's going to be a mini Direct showcasing some small things that are coming up, and I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. I think we are towards the end of the Switch lifecycle, so it is going to be more like DLC and ports of older games. And I might be right on this because we're getting more information from some of these people that have leaked some of these past games, and they're coming back around. Once again, lots of this is still coming from Zippo and their blog post and talking about some games that they heard being rumored and stuff. But there's 3 games mentioned here that a lot of people should keep their eyes on because it's something that we should look forward for this Nintendo Direct, especially if this is the end of the Switch lifecycle. These seem like games that they're going to throw out on the Switch before moving on to the next console. So once again, take everything with a grain of salt. We have no clue if this stuff is actually going to be announced in this Nintendo Direct or really at all. There's a lot of stuff that we are going to mention here also that have been brought up before, so also remember that none of this really is like new information. Lots of this is stuff that we have been talking about. But real quick before we dive in, guys, if you're enjoying these updates and wanting to be informed about all things happening with Nintendo this week, stop what you're doing, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. It helps a long way, guys, and you guys have been absolutely killing it lately. Let's help move this bar along because lots of you watching this right now are not yet subscribed. But into the video. So the first thing we have is one that just still cannot be real to me in my eyes is FZero GX HD. Zippo states, this has been rumored for about a year, and from all accounts, it's ready and still slated for release this year. Hopefully this is announced soon. I am fiending for this, you have no idea. The captain's return will soon be upon us. This is going to be huge for FZero fans as we really have had nothing in multiple years. It has been pretty much a dormant, dead franchise. And I know we complain about there being a lack of Mario games or even Donkey Kong in that case, but I mean, come on, FZero has been in the absolute trenches. So to get anything from FZero would be huge, and a port would be very much well-deserved, especially if it's an HD remake or remaster. That would be really great. But then you move on to something that I find to be probably my most exciting thing on this list because it has so many huge implications for the future of this series, and that is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door HD. Zippo states, once again, this is real, and it's already been talked about plenty. As you guys know, I have talked about this on the channel for a while. It has been brought up by many leakers for a while now, but it continues to say, so I won't go over all the details again, but if I had to guess, this is the most likely announcement to be made next. I would bet that this is the next game to release after Pikmin 4, as bold as that sounds, which is kind of crazy. We could be getting Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door HD as soon as this fall, which is crazy to me because it's such an iconic game in the franchise. It's really what got a lot of people into the Paper Mario series, and it's so huge because this is how we want Paper Mario to return. And they've gone off the track a little bit with the latest 3 Paper Mario games with Sticker Star, Color Splash, and Origami King, making the game a lot different than what fans remember, and not really going back to those roots of the RPG turn-based strategy. So I've always said just literally remake the Thousand-Year Door, and then you can slowly start incorporating those elements into a new Paper Mario and fixing the franchise while you can. This is the perfect way to do so. Have an HD remaster, remake, port of the Thousand-Year Door, clean it up, make it look nice, throw it on the Switch. People are going to eat it up, and is going to finally save Paper Mario, I think, in my eyes. I think it's something that's like a turning point for the franchise. It's going to be that big, seriously. But I really hope that comes true. But then the last one that I want to bring up today, because there's still some other ones that they mentioned. They mentioned the possibility of a new Paper Mario. They've also mentioned Kid Icarus Uprising still has time to happen, and also things like the Zelda ports with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. There's a lot of things out there still. And even like the 2D Donkey Kong and Metroid Prime 4. So there's a lot on the slate, but the big one here, the big one, the one that we've been talking about for a while, is Mario Baseball, because this one is pretty much confirmed, all but confirmed. Mario Baseball has been rumored by everyone. I think it was like really expected at the last Nintendo Direct, and I think it's going to be expected here. It's one of those games that feels right before, you know, moving on to the next console. Let's get this last Mario Sports game out on the Switch. It just seems like the one that's missing right now. But Zippo states, I've covered this one quite a bit, so I won't reiterate many of those details here, but people have pointed a possible release date to me in theory. October is a month that the end of the baseball season traditionally ends in America, that being the World Series. It would make the most sense to release the game around that time to emphasize hype and visibility. Celebrity endorsements would also make sense. The Astros and Angels are huge right now. Maybe I suggest an ad campaign with one of their players. So yeah, I mean, come on. It just makes sense. Mario Baseball, it's going to happen. It's one of the sports we haven't gotten yet. You know, I personally was really holding out for baseball or basketball on the Switch for a long time. It's baseball time. You know, I think it just makes sense. I hope they keep it in the same style and vibes as Super Sluggers, with tons of characters, unique characters, and just having like a huge roster. It just makes sense. I hope it's not like one of those, like you get a couple of characters and you have to wait like a year for DLC and updates for these characters. So as long as they really have that Super Sluggers feel, that's why I am a little worried about Mario Baseball, because I do feel like if it's going to happen, it's going to have the modern Mario Sports effect. And if you don't know what that is, it's a negative effect where the modern Mario Sports games seem to be lacking in content and seem to be nowhere near as fleshed out and fun and unique as the past Mario games on the Wii days and GameCube and stuff like that. But yeah, with that said, this really is an exciting lineup. I guess I can also bring up Kid Icarus Uprising, but Zippo says, where does time go? I talked about this a year ago and that feels like yesterday. This one blew up so much to the point that even Sakurai teased during a video on his own YouTube channel. But then Zippo says, that said, I don't think it's time quite yet to see this one. Let them cook, as the kids say. So yeah, I do believe, you know, this Kid Icarus, it has to come back eventually. And maybe Sakurai will be at the helm of that, whether it's a new game or a Kid Icarus Uprising HD port or remaster, remake, whatever. But back to the other three. So yeah, these three could be games that we're getting during this Nintendo Direct, especially if it's a mini. These seem like games that they can, you know, almost like shadow drop even. Remember when they just shadow dropped Metroid Prime? I feel like these games are also in that same category. Lots of leakers actually talked about how GameCube games were actually going to come to the Switch. I think Emily Rogers was even talking about that at one point, very earlier on in the Switch lifecycle, that Nintendo was really trying to work with GameCube games and bring them back. And this definitely just, you know, shows. You know, they did Metroid Prime, do FZero GX. Could you imagine if they just said FZero GX, you know, HD, it's on the Switch right now, go get it. I hope they don't do that with Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Like, really, because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to wait, because the physical version always takes like an extra 2 weeks to come out. I'm praying that doesn't happen. But yeah, hopefully we get like a little concrete date for that to come out like in the fall or something. That is, oh man, that would be super exciting. I mean, seriously, I think my dream would come true on the Switch, having a unique open Mario game with Mario Odyssey, having Super Mario Sunshine on the Switch, and even Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I think I could die a happy Mario fan at that point. Of course, I'm still waiting for the next Mario game, but I mean, I could seriously die as a Switch fan with Mario on the Switch right now. But then obviously Mario Baseball, being a big baseball fan myself, that just makes sense as well. Mario has had a drought lately, so yes, let's keep our eyes on him, because it seems like there could be some big things coming. And that's not even talking about like mainline games and even like the Mario Party series. So with this information, what do you guys think? Do you think we'll be getting FZero GX HD, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door HD, or even Mario Baseball in this upcoming Nintendo Direct? Is there going to be an upcoming Nintendo Direct? Let me know if you guys have doubts or if you guys are excited in the comments down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, like always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo all the time. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.